Travis, my good soul. So, after complaining about YouTube's cyber attack on me last night, or was it this morning? I think it was this morning. It was this morning. It wasn't, yeah, this morning. I think. No, I did the video this morning. Yeah, God, time passes as a dream. I'm still getting cyber terrorized, so it won't be surprising if the camera freezes on me. They are on a full-on attack to silence me, to punish me, to show that they are mightier than I am. And it could even be Lee, not just the church, who's upset with me. The video I did exposing Lee and his little secret combination with Mormons video, I'm sure that also contributed to the attack on me. The timing is very circumstantial. Just a coincidence, Travis. You have no proof. That's why it's a secret conspiracy. And so, this is my last video. Because if something does happen for the Feast of Tabernacles that begins in 38 minutes, I will be occupied with other things to do. And so YouTube, by attacking me, denying me access to YouTube video content, even my own, is just the indicator that this is it. When I was held hostage in the shelter, they did the same thing to me. The shelter denied access to the internet for me, specifically targeting me and nobody else. And I mean, dear God, it was perfect timing to be able to get into this apartment on that very day that I was attacked. And 2 girls lost their jobs because of it. And so I see the pattern of practice. I know exactly what's being done to me. They're not fooling me. And like I said, this is men puffing up their chests to show how much powerful they are over me. But I know these guys. They do this because they're scared. They know they're in the wrong, but they have to put up a front so that everybody sees how powerful they are. They're nothing but cowards, scared little babies, despite being old men. And so if nothing happens, it means you failed your test. You have made your choice and your destiny is fixed. The consequences are fixed for your rebellion, for your disbelief, your denialism, your full-on indoctrination of the church. And so the consequences will follow. Joseph Smith, the Book of Mormon, the Bible all warned you of those consequences. It's utter destruction. The human race is about to be exterminated. And so those who have believed in my videos and have been studying to learn more, this is what to expect. Find a safe place when it all hits the fan. I don't think there's anybody who researches what this secret combination is up to, what they are plotting, what they are planning, looking for their game strategy, looking for their backup plans. And today I was I discovered some more as to their backup plans. The first thing is, if there is, well, I saw it on Battlestar Galactica. I'm going, holy crap. You have an illegitimate criminal who was involved in an insurrection running for president. You have a fake election with voting fraud. You have a 9/11 apocalyptic event. And you have a fascist takeover. All under the context of an exodus. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. And so, if there is no civil war caused by the people, as we've seen cities erupt in violence that require the National Guard to be called in, but I'm talking about something that spreads throughout the nation, then the backup is the election. And I see two paths for the election. Trump is purposely causing, well, there's three paths. One, Trump's rigging of the election, his election fraud in progress right now, succeeds. And he's able to defraud the election and become the president. And so this will either have Harris concede for the peaceful transfer of authority. As you know, Fox will be demanding that. Or she will refuse to concede and demand, through lawsuits and such, that the various states recount, or whatever. Now those states may or may not do that. So there's a lot of sub stuff that is technical that will be done. But the two main ones that I was referring to are Harris wins. And if Harris wins, Trump obviously will not concede. He'll claim foul and do all sorts of the stuff that he did in 2020. We know that's coming. And we will hear, as we already are hearing, of voter fraud that's going on. Virginia throwing out ballots and all sorts of other stuff that's going on. But there's a Presidential Succession Act from the early 1900s. Can't remember the date. Might even be 47. In which, if after an election there is no decision as to who wins come January 20th, it defaults to the Speaker of the House. In case you haven't been hearing in the news all these years, after 2020, MAGA in the House were trying to get Trump to be the Speaker of the House. And there was some controversies as the original Speaker that finally got put in got booted out. because he didn't do what they wanted him to do. So now we got this other guy now. And so he either then becomes the president, but you're unaware of what he and Trump have been plotting. And that is that he could resign, or a vote of MAGA could remove him and then vote for Trump immediately after Harris is confirmed the winner as a backup, because January 6th is coming. And so January 6th, again, the Presidential Succession Act. If there is no vice president, we've never had this in American history, but it would default to the Speaker of the House to pound the gavel and do the ceremonial certification of the election, like Pence was supposed to do, as he did. But he was not supposed to do it, and they wanted to hang him. And so these are some dangers that I see coming as backup plans to prevent Harris from becoming president. If they can't get America to riot, they will do all they can to make sure Trump gets in. So those are some dangers that I foresee coming, as they themselves have been saying they want to do it. But because it's spread out over the years and at different times by different people, the news doesn't catch on to this. And so the news, for example, already forgot that Trump was going to execute all his opponents to get revenge, because he came out again and said, I'm going to prosecute all my opponents. It's like they've never even bothered to read his books or listen to him, and they weren't following him when he was president. You know, MAGA, they don't care. They don't care to know any of that. It's like a Catholic. They're born Catholic, they'll die Catholic. Nothing's going to change their mind. It doesn't matter how many priests rape little boys. They're not going to change their mind. Church is true. Right, Mormons? It doesn't matter that there were over 3,000 Boy Scouts raped because of the scout leaders that the church put in. And the church bailed on the Boy Scouts because they didn't want to pay the damages that they themselves caused. Mormons don't care. They're born Mormon, they'll die Mormon. And so, yeah, this will depend on the enemy as to when the destructions happen and how it will happen. But just understand that if there is no exodus and our federal government refuses to listen to me, and thus our federal government is in on it with the church. Church has fully compromised them. So, if nothing happens for an exodus, just understand that utter destruction is in the coming days for all of us. So I've tried to teach you about how to check the church news to see what the church is up to. You'll notice this time around, the first presidency snuck in today, as the two other ones before it are from the foreign newsrooms and were in last night on the 15th. And yet Nelson got put into the third position, being put out today, all being the 16th of October. They're trying to hide him. This was only a backup because the church was in on the plot to order YouTube to silence me. They know what they're doing. They have backup plans. They try to hide things from me, thinking that I won't catch it. But he met with a leader of Cuba, because she's called Her Excellency. Maybe she's the Queen. I don't know. I don't care. And this time they made sure to show in pictures going over the Book of Mormon with her. And if you've forgotten, we almost had a Bay of Pigs this year in Cuba because of Russia. That's what you need to catch on to. That there's a secret business meeting that happened, and they compromised her and extorted her, and she caved and has no honor and integrity. She gave up Cuba to the church. And so I shouldn't have to go over nurturing mother's love, global child nutrition effort comes to Indonesia. In the news before I was shut down, Reuters or Associated Press, one of the two, reported that South Africa is having the worst food crisis they've ever had in decades. And of course the church has been involved giving charity, as they call it, to corporations that are supposed to give the charity to South Africa and other African nations that are also suffering. And so the church pretends like they're helping when the news is reporting they're not getting helped. So what happened? Well, it was a business deal. I told you. Nobody believes. And so BYU Idaho has the largest incoming class in school's history. Good. You're safe from the destruction in this valley if it were to come. Just remember to stay home during the Christmas holiday. Don't come home for Christmas. I stayed. It was the best thing I ever did. But like I said, if the election is decided, there could be an escalation to violence nationwide. If it isn't decided, there could be escalations to violence nationwide. Just understand that Christmas, right before, on the 20th, is when the budget got kicked to the curb too. That's also part of their backup plan, is that if Harris is confirmed the winner, Congress will be guaranteed to deny the budget for 2025, to shut down the federal government before she takes office. So pay attention. They're doing everything on purpose to destroy America. Then you have Uchtdorf talking to missionaries. And he's not like Oakes, who leaks to a sister missionary about how the church is responsible for all of the world's problems, and that 2024 will be the final solution. And so, yeah, they're hoping to distract me, and then I would go, and I see he's giving the sign of the devil. I mean, so much for the Heil Hitler that others have been giving. Uchtdorf goes right to the sign of the devil. Screw you all. Where is it? Don't hide it from me. They put it in the thumbnail picture, but it's not the first. Oh, there it is. Priceless. Shout at the devil. And then they've got a Sunday school counselor and a former NFL player. This is Burgess Owens. Do you know and understand the scandal behind him? I sat next to him at a fireside he gave in Poughkeepsie, New York, back on my mission. But yeah, I was so sad. He was having some financial difficulties, was deep in debt to a lot of people, and ran for Congress for that very reason, to boot them to the curb. And he got it. You guys fell for it. You gave him the biggest tax break ever. So sad when people have no honor and integrity. But fumbling is not falling. Well, who's he talking to? Because Nelson fell last year. It wasn't a fumble. He fell on 9/11. How art thou fallen, old Russell Marion? And so, yeah, we have to have the great and abominable church fall, or there will be no Exodus. And so, yeah, don't think that the church is going to be safe here in this valley. They're not. The new court clerk, or the new clerk, she sucks. I didn't get my ballot. Sherry Swenson got me my ballot whenever I moved. She was on the ball and on top of it and did it immediately. She was awesome. This person, I notified them, I'm still not getting my ballot. And it's exactly what the church did to keep me from voting for Obama and voting for Obama again in 2012. Rather than Mitt Romney. Yeah, Mitt Romney got his butt kicked. I looked for the results of that election today. Yeah, it was no contest. But I mean, to have the church purposely try to deny me my vote, when obviously I'm in Utah, my vote will never count. We know Utah is voting Trump. It's just so sickening. But regardless. And then finally, we got a member of the 70 at BYU. It says the Book of Mormon is an inspired textbook for life. That's an inspired warning for your death. Again, the church misleading you because they don't want you to read the Book of Mormon. They don't want you to understand the words correctly that are in there. The Book of Mormon is Jewish, first and foremost. And then the ending of the Book of Mormon is, utter destruction awaits the wicked. If you do not listen to your Christ, you're going to die. Remember, Jewish Christ, not Christian Jesus. You have been provided with all of the evidence necessary for you to test, to know the truth. And if you choose not to do it, consequences follow, Mormons. Consequences follow. Also, one more thing as I see on the screen. The church this week, after covering up and hiding conference from you, and Nelson's big botched prophecy of the second coming that didn't happen, which was his way of, again, purging the weakest among Mormons. And so it's unclear. I mean, the happy lady, I'm sure she's still happy. Mormons don't need drugs. They're already far gone mentally. But nonetheless, I see now they're fishing for anybody who will take the bait. And so today, it's a couple of black girls hoping to catch black women, black men who are voting for Harris. It's sick and wrong. You know, yesterday it was an old man with glasses, and then before it was a kid, you know, giving his mom a hug. Single mom. You know, these are all the things that the church hates. And they're out fishing to lure people in who they hate. All for the sake of getting money. That's all they're interested in. So, over 8,000 videos. And YouTube has silenced me. Tanked the views after doing that cyber attack I saw. Because it's a form of punishment in their algorithms. Their algorithms interprets video unavailable as I've committed some violation of YouTube's policies, and so it tanks the video views. That's how they do it. That's how they did it on Mother's Day. You know, claiming that a thumbnail picture was porn, and so they took all day to reverse it. And then shortly thereafter, video unavailable for a whole month plus. It's like a month and a half until they finally lifted it. And if it's a month and a half, yeah, I'm not going to see the results of the election unless I'm signed out. And with it being graphically violent, I'll have to sign in to prove my age. They know exactly what they're doing to punish me. So bleep you guys for your hatred. For your hatred of you, my audience. YouTube's hurting you. And this is what my audience does not understand. YouTube is the enemy. The church is the enemy. Our government is the enemy because they aren't stepping in to stop this church. YouTube has no honor and integrity as they are protecting the church. Anybody who protects the church is the enemy. This church must fall for there to be peace on earth and goodwill towards men. So, brethren and sistren, adieu.